Okay, this is a very quick introduction to virtualization. In this case, I'm using a Mac as the host for a number of different operating systems. I can run Windows on this, I can run Unix on this, or any other environment that I want. So virtualization is a technology that I basically use to run both server and client-based platforms underneath my host. So today I'm using Virtualbox, which is a free technology by Oracle, which I've just downloaded from the net. Now I've created a quick machine here, a FreeBSD demo machine. So here's a machine that I've already created, and we're going to very quickly create a new machine now. So I click on New, I type in the name, and I can choose the kind of operating system there is. This just gives me pre-configured values for some of the hardware. So if I choose BSD and FreeBSD, if I continue, it's recommended 128 megabytes of memory as the minimum to use, and of course I could change the slider and allocate as much memory as I wish. So if I continue from there, I'll create a new virtual hard disk, and I will make it a virtual disk image. There are a number of other different types of standard virtualization technologies out there with different formats for disk, and I can choose some of them here. So I'll make it dynamic, which means it starts off as a small file, and as you use more of the disk space, it dynamically grows out the size of the file to be as big as the maximum size that you specify. So I'm saying that the maximum size disk is going to be 2 gigabytes in this case. I create that and I have my machine. Now if I start my machine, it gives me a message to say that I have my left command key as my host key. So to escape the operating system, if I tap my left command key, I can escape. So I select a startup disk, and in this case I have an ISO already selected, which I mounted before. It starts to do the install of the operating system. Now I could change the ISO or the boot disk and choose a virtual file if I wish to. Now another cool thing about virtualization is snapshots. You can see here I've got just one snapshot of this machine, but basically what I can do is by taking a snapshot I save the contents of the memory and the disk and can revert back to it later if I make a mistake. So if I power up this machine, you'll see that the machine runs up, and I could literally do anything I want within this virtual machine now. So I could install a funny language code, or I could configure anything I wish, and if I made a mistake, then I could quite easily get back to where I was before, and I do that just by shutting down the machine, and I can say restore back to the current snapshot, which is boot screen. So I can have a hierarchy of snapshots, so I can have several different versions of the same machine, and I can go back to different steps in my build, and I can have several different branches as well. I have a lot of control of the configuration of my machine as well as being able to add several disks and specify the kind of adapters that I have. I can do all kinds of really cool things with network configurations. So I quite commonly, for example, will connect 2 or 3 servers together in an environment to model something that I might do in real later. So you can connect the network adapters, you can have several different types of adapter on several different virtual networks which you create. So there's a lot of flexibility that's available with virtualization. I would advise you to check it out.